much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and a very warm welcome to this special music edition of Pointless Celebrities, the show that makes big winners out of the lowest scorers. Let's meet this evening's Pointless Celebrities. And couple number one.
I'm Pauline Black. I'm lead singer of two-tone band The Selector, and I suppose on my radio is the thing that most people would know me for.
Hello there, I'm Lee Thompson from Madness, various other bands. I play saxophone.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Kathy Dennis, and I'm mostly known as a songwriter, writer of Toxic and Can't Get Out of My Head, amongst others.
And I'm Kimberly Wyatt, best known for being a pussycat doll with songs like Don't Ya, When I Grow Up, and Buttons.
Couple number three.
I'm Barbara Dickson. I'm a singer, songwriter, actress sometimes.
I'm Steve Brown. I've written a couple of musicals, one of which Spend, Barbara was in. Also wrote I Can't Sing with Harry Hill. And many years ago, I was Glenn Ponder in The Alan Partridge Show.
And finally, couple number four.
I'm Steve Hogarth, best known for being the singer in Marillion for the last 30 years or so. And that's all I've got to say about me.
My name's Heather Small, formerly of the band M People. I think I'm best known maybe for Proud.
Thanks very much, all of you. A very warm welcome to Pointless Celebrities. It's lovely to have you with us. We'll have a chance to chat further, of course, throughout the show as it goes along. So that just leaves one more person for me to introduce. Although not musically talented, he does spend hours on his organ at home. It's my pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm very well.
This is fun. My primary emotion at the moment is one of relief, because right up to the last second, I was going to wear exactly the same suit as Lee. I'm so glad I changed. How embarrassing that would have been for us both. So lovely to have you all here. Now, between them, over 30 million records sold, 0 pointless trophies won.
Wow.
We have had 3 people on before. Pauline has been on before, got through to the head-to-head, as did Barbara. Heather also been on before, knocked out in round 1, but we're going to see a lot more of you this time, I'm sure. Now, for everybody, musicians all, round 1 should be a good one, I think. It's a nice, easy start to the show, I think.
Good. Ease them in gently. Good. Good. Thank you, Richard. Now, as usual, all of today's questions have been put to 100 people before the show. Our contestants here are looking for those all-important pointless answers. These are answers that none of our 100 people gave. Every time you find one of those, and I'm sure you'll find lots of them, we will add £250 to the jackpot. As today's show is a celebrity special and our celebrities are playing for nominated charities, we are going to start off with the jackpot of £2,500, which is there. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. Just a few housekeeping rules. The pair with the highest score at the end of each round will be eliminated. That's really the main rule, the cardinal rule here. So keep your scores as low as you can. No conferring till we get to the head-to-head. Our first category this evening is musical royalty. Can you all decide in your pairs? Who is going to go first? Who is going to go second in each pair?
Pauline, would you like to go first?
I'd love to.
Come on,
Come on, then.
I was going to say, as long as you do it loudly. And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. Fantastic. OK, and our question concerns Elvis Presley UK Top 40 singles. Richard.
On each board, we're going to show you the titles of 7 Elvis Presley UK Top 40 singles, but we've missed 1 word out of each title. Can you fill in those missing words, please? Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed. Can you supply the missing words to these Elvis hits? Here is our first board of 7. And we have got Heartbreak Blank, The Blank of You, Blank Minds, There Goes My Blank, Blank Rock, Hound Blank, and King Blank. I'll read those song titles again. Heartbreak Blank, The Blank of You, Blank Minds, There Goes My Blank, Blank Rock, Hound Blank, and King Blank. OK, there we are. Now, Pauline, welcome back. You're looking
Lovely
great.
to be here.
Love the...
Well, I'm glad I wore this. I mean, look at the competition.
Well, exactly. No, it's very... What it is, Walt Jabsco, isn't it, was the two-tone
The black and
logo.
white sort of
That's
logo
great.
of it, yeah.
Yeah, I
and
love it.
neither of us really are dressed like that today.
No, certainly not.
Now, Pauline, you've been touring with
We
the Selector.
have, yeah,
You've been touring. You did what? US? Where else?
Yeah, we started in Mexico, US, and Europe, and UK.
How long was the
Here
tour?
I am.
How many nights?
46 dates. That was a long time and about 26,000 miles, I think.
Wow, very good. Okay, now Pauline, the King. What are you going to go for?
I'm going to go for the third one down, and I'm going to say suspicious.
Suspicious, says Pauline. Suspicious minds. How many of our 100 people said suspicious minds? It's right. Down he goes to 43. Very good. Solid start to the show. 43 for suspicious minds.
Well played, Pauline. Yeah, number 2 hits in January 1970. Later covered by Fine Young Cannibals. Had a big hit with it as well.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Kimberly, welcome to Pointless. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Now, the rumour is that the Pussycat Dolls are about to go back into the studio.
It's happening.
It is happening.
It is happening, yes. New music, tour, the whole lot, just 10 years later.
Wow. So the album, have you decided what's on the album? That's all?
We haven't yet. But we're filming some videos. We've got launch dates in place. It's all go.
And then off on tour.
Then off on tour.
This will be the first time you've all toured since kids.
That's right, yeah.
So how's that going to work?
3 kids later, I don't know. I'm trying not to think about the whole thing or I might crumble. We're going to take it piece by piece and figure out how we do the juggle struggle. Bring them with us as much as possible.
Yeah, surely. Oh, they'll love it.
Yeah.
They'll love it. Now, Kimberly, what are you going to go for on our board here?
I am going to go for the third from the bottom. Jailhouse.
Jailhouse Rock, says Kimberly. Let's see how many of our 100 people went for Jailhouse. Jailhouse Rock is right. And down it goes. Look, 33. 33 for Jailhouse Rock.
Yes, the Labour and Stoller song.
Thank you very much indeed,
Pleasure.
Richard. Now, Barbara, welcome back to Pointless.
Thank you.
Now, you've just finished work on an album.
Yep.
Tell us all about that.
Well, it's just a great ongoing creative thing, a surge that I'm on in my later years.
Nonsense.
And I'm just loving it. I mean, I just do what I want, which is the biggest fun in the world. And I tour when I want, with the people I want,
nice.
and it's just perfect. Absolutely perfect.
When's the album out?
It's coming out in time for my big tour, which will be in February, March. That's my sort of big thing that will be happening beginning of next year.
Really looking forward to that. Now, Barbara, what are you going to go for?
Well, I know a few of them, but this is a difficult show. I would say I'd like to go for Hound Dog.
Hound Dog,
Yeah.
says Barbara. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Hound Dog. It's right. 75 for Hound Dog. How do you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another Labour and Stoller song as well, originally done by Big Mama Thornton, with slightly different lyrics.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Heather, welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Now, I want to ask you, M People had all these wonderful anthemic songs that they get used a lot on sort of big public occasions. Things like VE Day was celebrated to M People. Olympic handovers have happened to M People. Launching of ships and things. Do people ever ask you in advance? Or would they just say, oh, by the way, we used your song?
No, you get asked in advance.
You get asked?
Yeah, they asked me to use Proud. I wrote that.
Yeah.
I co-wrote that myself. And they sent me the VT with the sound bed. Proud was a sound bed. And the visuals together with the music was so moving. I definitely wanted to be part of it.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, M People did that brilliant thing of managing to be hugely commercially successful. Well, because you won a Mercury Music Prize as well, didn't you?
Yes, that upset a few people, but yeah.
Oh, no, I think that was great. I mean, that was just a brilliant... I mean, what an amazing thing to achieve.
It was fun. You know, at the time that you win anything, it's fun. But, you know, the proof in the pudding is longevity. So still singing, and that makes me happy.
Excellent. OK, well, Heather, you're the last person to have this board. Do you want to fill in all our blanks for us?
Well, it's Heartbreak Hotel, And I don't know the bottom one. I personally am going to go for the second one, and I'm going to say Wonder.
The Wonder of You, says Heather. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Wonder. Wonder is absolutely right. That's a great answer. Down against the 21. Very well done. Our new low score there. The Wonder of You.
Well played, Heather. Great answer, great song as well. It's Elvis's last ever #1 in his lifetime, recorded live in Las Vegas, The Wonder of You. Shall we fill in this board?
Yeah.
You did well to avoid Heartbreaker, Ted. It's a pretty big scorer. Would have scored 68 down the bottom there. King
Creole.
Creole,
I
yeah.
want to say Creole.
That would have scored 17. The best answer on the board. There goes my
Everything.
everything. 5 points for that. Well played.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. Richard, well, we are halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. Best score of the past was yours, Heather. Very well done indeed. 21 up to 33, where we find Kimberly and Kathy. Then 43, Pauline and Lee. Then 75, a little bit ahead there, Barbara and Steve B. But Steve B, if anyone can score a low score on the next pass, I think you can.
Thank you.
So, yes, that's
You're
your
very
job. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, let's put 7 more Elvis Presley hits up on the board with missing words. And here they are. We have got... Are you blank tonight? Love me blank. Wear my blank around your neck. Poke blank Annie. Wooden blank. Can't help blank in love. And crying in the blank. I'm going to read those all again. Are you blank tonight? Love me blank. Wear my blank around your neck. Poke blank Annie. Wooden blank. Can't help blank in love. And crying in the blank. There we are. Steve H, to give you your full name. Welcome to Point. It's lovely to have you here. So, Marillion, I mean, it's now how many years since you've been the lead singer of Marillion?
30, I think.
30
Yeah.
years. That's flown by like that. And were you a huge Marillion fan?
Well, a quiet respect, you know.
Yeah.
It was strange how it came about, because I was about to do another tour with a band called The.
Yeah.
And the phone rang, and it was Marillion. So then I had to get my head around not being a piano player and maybe being a singer for the rest of my days and co-writing and everything. So it came as a shock. It came via the publisher and various channels and a mutual friend called Darryl Way as well, who'd worked with our drummer Ian.
Yeah. How amazing. So what, did you leave The in the lurch then, or did you manage to...
I left The in the lurch. I did.
Very good. Well, you never looked back. It's fantastic. It's been great. Now, Steve, there you are on 21, which means if you can score 53 or less, you're into round 2. What are you going to go for on this board?
I'm going to go for Wooden Heart.
Wooden Heart, says Steve H. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. There's your red line. Let's see what happens when we say Wooden Heart. It's right. And you're through. Very well done indeed. Down it goes to 26. 47 your total.
#1 single from 1961. It's based on a German folk song. You even wrote a couple of verses in German. Spent a bit of time in Germany, Elvis.
They didn't like that, the Germans. They liked that.
Oh, they'd have loved that. Well, they liked a bit of Elvis because he was stationed over there.
Of course.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Now, Steve B. Welcome to Pointless.
Thank you very much.
Very nice to have you here. What an extraordinary career you've had. I mean, it really... I mean, a thing of shreds and patches, yes, it is. But what shreds and what patches?
Yes.
I mean...
bit of this, bit of that.
But always good this and always good that.
Jack of all trades, master of several.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair enough. Spend, huge hit, which you wrote the libretto, you wrote the lyrics.
Co-wrote with Justin Green, yeah.
You've also worked with Paul McCartney.
I did do a little something for Paul McCartney.
I mean, you know.
I met him backstage at... I was playing with Steve Coogan, who I've done a lot of work with. And he introduced us. We were standing there like it was a royal line, and he introduced McCartney as he came along. And he came up to me, he says, hey, have we met before, you know? And I said, no, we haven't. He said, are you sure? I said, I think I'd remember.
I wonder who he thinks you are.
You?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I know. But have fun. Anyway, Steve. Steve, you are on 75. You're the high scorers at the moment. But There's got to be a low score there.
I've got my eye on 2 of them. I do know them, and I'm torn between the 3rd and the 4th. But I think I'm gonna go with Poke Salad Annie. Salad is a missing
Salad.
word.
Poke Salad Annie. OK, let's see if that is right.
Tony Joe White.
You're that's
right.
good.
Yeah.
No red line for you. You're currently the high scorers. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Poke Salad Annie. Is right. That's exactly what we needed from you. Very well done indeed. Takes your total up to 82. Have you done enough, I wonder, to keep yourselves in the game? We will find out.
Well played, Steve. Terrific answer. Yeah, as you say, Tony Joe White, whose his version didn't make the UK charts at all. It's a shame.
Shame. Thank you very much indeed. Richard, Kathy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Wonderful to have you with us. I want to ask you about co-writing, because often you have a co-writing credit. Is that because producers demand a writing credit if they produce songs?
Times, yes, but mostly I work with a musician. I've never worked with the same person many times, so usually there are different co-writers on my songs.
So do you work on a song a little bit and then take it over and say, what do you think? And then there's a bit of back and forth on it? Or do you actually sit in a room together and go, what do you think? No, 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 no. That's how we write our songs.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
It can happen either way.
Yeah.
But it's usually a two-way process. I'm not going to say, but I do lyrics and melody, and I'm kind of quite precious about that. So that's my thing.
Quite right. Quite right. Well, yeah, don't muck about with it. It's working pretty well. Kathy, you're on 33. If you can score 48 or less, there's a place for you in round 2.
Oh, it's really tough to kind of trust which one is going to be the lowest.
Oh, it's a lovely voice.
That's nothing. I'm going to go with Are You Lonesome Tonight?
Are you lonesome tonight, says Kathy. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. There is your red line. Is right. And it gets you through. You needed 48. You got 48. Taking your total up to 81.
Well played, Kathy. That's the way they do it. They say that he recorded it at 4 a.m. with all the lights out to get his voice, like, appropriate for the lyrics. I don't know if that's true. As musicians, does that sort of thing work?
Yes.
OK. Then perhaps he did listen. Perhaps Elvis did do that.
Did they leave him all on his own, so he's very lonesome?
Well, he's completely in the dark, so he wouldn't know who was there.
They'll pretend they're gone.
I think
Just left, pressed play and record and left.
Yeah. just do 7 hours of takes, Elvis. We're listening.
Well, yeah. Wow. Thank you very much. Lee, how lovely to have you here.
Thanks for inviting us.
So many things I'd like to ask you. Actually, first thing I'm going to ask you, when you had that idea, I'm guessing it was your idea on the baggy trousers video, just to suddenly fly, where did that come from?
I've been to see Peter Gabriel, Genesis, at the Drury Lane Theatre many years before.
Yeah.
And there's a song called A Flower, I think, where he's dressed up as a flower. And this pyrotechnic goes off, and then above the plume of smoke, he appears on this wire. And I thought, I want to do that, not thinking I'd ever get round to doing it. And then when the Baggy Trousers single was released and the ideas for videos were running around, I just... because I had these big baggy trousers on that were ordered for us.
Yeah.
I said, can we hire it's a Kirby wire, which is mainly used at theatres, you know, Christmas for Peter Pan and whatever. And, I put the truss on, and unfortunately I got caught in it down the nether regions. But it took a while to get on, to put on, so I thought, let's just get it out of the way and do it. And... away we go, and we're doing the spins, but there's a tear in every eye.
Lee, there you are on 43. If you can score 38 or less, you're into the next round. What would you like to go for? Do you want to fill in the board for us?
Oh, please. We've got to get this right. Falling. Ha, apt. Yeah. Can't help falling in love.
Can't help falling in love, says Lee. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said falling. There's your red line. It's right. Oh, 69. 69 takes your total up to 112.
Yeah, do you know that's the most streamed of Elvis Presley songs on Spotify? That's #1. Jailhouse Rock is #2, Suspicious Minds 3, and Hound Dog #4, but that's the most popular of all. Can't Help Falling in Love. Now, a couple of answers that would have seen you through. Crying in the...
Yeah, Chapel.
Chapel, that would have seen you through to the next round. Would have scored 14 points. Where My... Ring, that would have seen you through as well. That's the best answer up there. 4 points. And Love Me Tender, of course. That's another big scorer, though. 71.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So at the end of our first round, the pair who are heading home with their high score of 112, Lee and Pauline, I'm afraid it's you. Oh, such a treat to have Scar royalty here.
Just as I was starting to enjoy
know.
it.
Oh,
Well, listen, you could draw up a couple of chairs, I'm sure, and just stay there, right?
Had the suit dry cleaned and everything.
Yeah, you'll just have to come and play again. Come and play
Yes,
again.
it's been a joy and a pressure.
Too much. Well, thank you so much, Lee and Pauline. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Well, 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 here we are in round 2. Very well done, everybody. That was not an easy round, actually, because you had a mixture of really easy ones and really hard ones, and not much in between. Steve B, congratulations, our lowest individual scorer. And our far podium over there, Heather and Steve H, our lowest combined score. So very well done over there. And you guys, just brilliant. Just keep doing what you're doing. Best of luck to all 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 this evening is... words. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever wants to go first, will they please step up to the podium? OK. Let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many words formed by changing the letters of R as they could. Richard.
Yeah, we've got a lot of great wordsmiths here. We're looking for any word in the English language which you can make by just changing one of those letters, please. So you could change the A to something else, you could change the R to something else, or you could change the E to make a brand new word that exists in the English language. That word has to be in the Premium Oxford Dictionary, please, and no abbreviations or anything like that. So just any word in the English language that you get by changing one of those letters to something else, please.
I think of a word you can make by adding one letter to that.
I can too.
Care. Thank you. OK. Kathy.
Okay. I can think of something. I'm not very happy with the first thing that comes into my head, but okay. Ale.
Ale, says Kathy. Let's see how many of our 100 people said ale. It's right. Down he goes 47. Not bad. It's not bad. 47.
Yeah, any beer other than lager, stout or porter, apparently. I don't really understand the difference between beers. So ale is not lager. I guess I knew that.
I suppose.
Stout, but I don't know what that is.
Or was the other one? Or
Porter.
porter? I mean, it's Steve B. You'll know what porter is.
Why, do I look that old?
I don't know, but I thought,
Porter,
you know...
it's sort of, it's like a barley wine, isn't it?
No, it's stout.
It is.
Oh, I
Is
might
it
have
like
known. See, Barbara's the one we should have asked.
It's stout. It's another word for stout.
Porter, really?
Porter, yeah.
OK, I bet you're glad you said it now, Kathy.
Yeah, there we are.
I didn't know it was that interesting.
Oh, yes. Steve B, what are you going to go for?
I'm going to change the middle letter and have or, like W, as in shock and awe.
Ah, yes. That's earned you our first murmur of the evening. Good. Or, says Steve B. Let's see how many of our 100 people said or. Down he goes to 36.
Yeah, a feeling of reverential respect. Or.
And a bit of fear as well, isn't there? Surely.
Yes, it can.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah,
in the mix.
can do. Not necessarily. You can be in awe of somebody's talent.
You can.
And not be frightened of
But
it.
shock and awe, in that sense.
You know, when John Wayne was filming one of those biblical epics, he played the centurion by the cross, and he'd said, This man was truly the Son of God. And they said, John, can you say it with a bit more awe? He went, oh, truly this man is Son of God.
Steve H. Steve H. What are you thinking of?
Well, I was going to have awe. I'll take a stab at ace.
Ace, says Steve H. Let's see how many of our 100 people said ace. Down that goes to 41. 41 for ace.
Well done, Steve. Yeah, a playing card or someone who's good at something, or an unreturned serve in tennis. Lots of aces.
Thank you very much. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. The best score of the past was yours, Steve B. Look at that. And then we got up to 41, where we find Steve H. and Heather. And then up to 47, not very far ahead, but Kathy and Kimberly, you are there. So, Kimberly, you know what we need from you. A nice, low-scoring answer to keep you in the game, get you into the head-to-head. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, so Heather, remember we're looking for any word that you can make by changing just one of the letters of the word are.
I think I'm going to change the A to an I.
Ire. Very good indeed. Ire. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. There is a red line for you. It's largely academic at this point, but there it is. Let's see how far down the column we get with ire. It's right. Look at that, Heather. Very well done indeed. 20 for ire. That's how we do it. 61 is your total.
Terrific answer, Heather. Very well played. Yeah, it means it's the opposite of lower.
Opposite of lower.
Yeah.
Thank you. Barbara. Barbara, you're on 36. 24 or less is what we're aiming for.
I think I'm going to go for ARK. A-R-K.
Arc. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said arc. There is your red line. A-R-K. $38. 74 is your total.
Yeah, a boat that's probably not big enough for that many animals, I would say. I'm no zoologist, and I'm no maritime engineer. But as a lay exponent of both, I would say there's trouble ahead.
There's trouble ahead. So anyway, there we are. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Kimberly.
Yes.
Kimberly, it is your turn. Now, you have to score 26 or less.
The pressure.
But how many words that you had in your head have been taken by other people? You can lie. You can just say all of them.
All of them, of course.
Whichever was the lowest scoring one.
Obviously. But I think I'm going to change the R to a P and go with ape.
You're going to go ape.
I'm going ape.
OK. Here is your red line. Can you get below that with ape? Let's find out. It's definitely right. No. Oh, no, 50. Takes your total up to 97. It's not a bad total.
Yeah, it's unlucky. I'll tell you the answers that might have seen you through. You'd have tied if you said axe, A-X-E. That would have scored 27 points. You'd have got 17 points for pre, P-R-E. You'd got 14 for I, A-Y-E, as in yes, Scottish for
Or
yes.
forever, yeah.
Ear, E-R-E, is a 7-pointer. Arve, A-V-E, would have scored you 4. And the very obscure, the rest of them, Arb for 2, Arf.
I was going to say arf. I want to ask
To
about
laugh,
as
would
in
have
love,
scored 1
yeah.
point. Yep.
That was mine.
And pointless answers, I-E, A-I-E, which is an exclamation. Apparently, don't blame me, blame the dictionary. Ake and R, which I presume is something to do with pirates, but doesn't specify.
OK, there we are. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, that brings us to the end of the second round. And, oh, no, it is my sorrowful duty to say, I'm afraid, Kimberly and Kathy, we have to say goodbye to you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were just settling in, for goodness sake. It's been lovely having you here. Thank you so much. Playing brilliantly. And please come and play again.
Thank you.
And good luck with all your various projects. Thank you very much, Kimberly and Kathy. But for our 2 remaining pairs, it is now time for the head-to-head. Congratulations, Heather and Steve H, Steve B and Barbara. You are now one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot for your charities. And our jackpot is currently standing at £2,500. So this is where we select which pair goes through to the final to play for that jackpot. And we're going to do it by making you go head-to-head. The difference is you can now confer before you give your answers, which is nice. First pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. You have both played incredibly well. I mean, I think this is going to go right down to the wire. Oh, I can sense the competition here. Very, very best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. Here is your first question, and it concerns Robin Williams films. Richard.
We're going to show you 5 stills now from films starring Robin Williams, but what are these films, please?
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal the 5 stills, and here they come. We've got A, B, C, D, and E. OK, there we are. 5 Robin Williams films. Heather and Steve H, you're our golden couple, so you get to go first. Feel free to confer.
Which one do you like least like right now? Because go for that and yeah? Yeah, because
We're going to go for A.
Yeah.
Good Morning, Vietnam.
Good Morning, Vietnam. Say Heather and Steve H. Now, Steve B and Barbara, you can talk out loud now and talk us through that board.
Right.
OK, well, we think photo B...
We know that we know the...
But I think it's called something like 1 hour photo, but I'm not sure.
But we can't...
C is...
Yeah, is
Mrs.
Doubtfire. D is...
D, I think it was about... Al Pacino played a cop who... They were in Norway or something, and he couldn't sleep because the light was terrible. And that was probably called Insomnia or something like that. But I think probably the best one to go for, because it's the safest one. I'm not absolutely sure the title of B and D. I think we'll go Good Will Hunting for E.
Yes.
OK, Good Will Hunting. So we have Good Morning Vietnam and Good Will Hunting. Heather and Steve H went for Good Morning Vietnam for A. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. Good Morning Vietnam is right. That goes down to 61. Steve B and Barbara, meanwhile, have gone for Good Will Hunting for E. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Good Will Hunting. It is right. It's got to beat 61, and it does! Very well done. 35 got that scores, which means Steve B and Barbara, after 1 question, you are up 1-0.
Nice answer. Now, Good Morning Vietnam was the first time Robin Williams was nominated for an acting Oscar, and Good Will Hunting is the only time he won one. He's only a Best Supporting Actor for Good Will Hunting. You're quite right to avoid Mrs. Doubtfire. It's the biggest scorer up there. We scored you 86. If you'd said 1 hour photo, you'd have been right, and it would have scored 15 points. Yeah. He's really creepy in that film as well.
Yeah.
15 for that. And if you said Insomnia for D, you also would have been right, and it was a pointless answer.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. OK, now, here comes your second question. Heather and Steve H, you have to win this one to stay in the game, but Steve B and Barbara get to answer it first. OK, our second question is all about privates.
Don't. You make yourself look bad. You know.
OK, we're about to show you 5 pictures. We're not really. 5 clues now to things that involve the word private in some way or another.
Thank you very much indeed. Yeah. OK, let's reveal our 5 clues, and here they come. We have got the editor of Private Eye, who became a team captain on Have I Got News for You in 1990, playwright who wrote the 1930 comedy Private Lives, writer and director of the 1991 film My Own Private Idaho, Tom Selleck won an Emmy Award for playing a private investigator with this surname, and the author of the 2003 World War I children's novel Private Peaceful. I'm going to read those all again. The editor of Private Eye, who became a team captain on Have I Got News for You in 1990, playwright who wrote the 1930 comedy Private Lives, writer and director of the 1991 film My Own Private Idaho, Tom Selleck won an Emmy Award for playing a private investigator with this surname, and the author of the 2003 World War I children's novel Private Peaceful. There we are. Steve B and Barbara will go first.
I think Coward, maybe.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
We know a couple of them, but we think we'll go for number 2, which is Noel Coward.
Noel Coward, so Steve B and Barbara. Now, Heather and Steve H, it's over to you. Do you want to talk us through that board?
Well, can try.
I only know one.
You know the Tom Selleck, don't you?
Yeah, I know the Tom Selleck one.
The Tom Selleck was Magnum.
Magnum.
We'll go with number 1, which is Ian Hislop.
Ian Hislop. OK, so we have Noel Coward and Ian Hislop. Steve B and Barbara went for Noel Coward. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that for Private Lives. It is right. And that goes down to 19. Very well done indeed. 19 for Noel Coward. Meanwhile, Heather and Steve H have gone for Ian Hislop for the editor of Private Eye. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Ian Hislop. Right, it is Ian Hislop. And, oh, that's 47. That's a high score. Which means, look at that, Steve B and Barbara, after only 2 questions, you're straight through to the final 2-0.
Yeah, you're quite right about Magnum as well, but it's a big score. It would have scored you 59 points. The author also wrote Warhorse.
Ah, Michael Morpurgo.
Michael Morpurgo
Yeah.
would have scored 14 points. And the writer and director of My Own Private Idaho, Gus Van Sant, would have scored 6 points. Very well done if you said that at home.
Thank you very much indeed. So the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round, Heather and Steve H, our golden couple, who have played a blinder right across the show. And I'm afraid suddenly Steve and Barbara were just on fire in this round, I'm afraid. But you've been wonderful too. Thank you so much for playing. Heather and Steve H, wonderful. Time for Steve B and Barbara. Now time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Steve and Barbara. You have now fought off all the competition and you've won our coveted pointless trophy.
Hey.
You now get a chance to win our pointless jackpot for your charities, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £2,500. See, this is good. It's lovely. I can now call you Steve. I don't have to call you Steve B, which feels, you know, I feel like we know each other a bit better now. You've done so well. It's been fantastic, right across the show. There was a little bit touch and go. We had a high 75, didn't we, on one of the...
That was me.
That was in the Elvis round, I think. Yeah.
Well, I thought nobody would remember Hound Dog or Jailhouse Rock, you see. That's how wrong I am, and I watch Pointless all the time.
Well, listen, you brought it back. Now, what happens in this round, obviously, is you have to choose one of the 4 things that'll appear on the board behind me. What would you like to see come up? What's going to be there?
Beatles.
All sorts of things, but not football.
Anything but football.
We wouldn't mind a bit of literature.
Literature.
Music. Or books.
Yeah, books, yeah.
Well, let's have a look, see what's on the board. We've got these 4 things. Geographical areas with similar names. The year 1984. David Jason TV shows. Decades of Grand National winners.
I'm poor on geography.
My geography is pretty good.
Well,
and I was alive in 1984.
Me too.
So maybe I would
know.
know some of that. What do you think?
The years have been kind to me.
What do you think?
I'd go, because it's more of a sort of potpourri round, isn't it? The year 1984.
Should we go for that?
Yeah, shall we?
Yeah.
I think
Let's go for that, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. Year 1984.
OK, very best of luck. We're looking for any of the following, please. We're looking for anyone who was cast in the 1984 movie 1984. according to IMDb. We're looking for any acts that had a UK top 5 single in 1984, please, either a named artist or a featured artist. Or we are looking for any players in the UEFA or European Cup finals. That's anyone who played in the Spurs v Anderlecht game or the Liverpool v Roma game in 1984. We're not including substitutes who stayed on the bench. So the cast of 1984, acts or artists had a UK top 5 hit in 1984, and players in those European finals. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that jackpot is for just one of your answers to be pointless. Are you ready?
Yes.
OK, 60 seconds on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
So,
Prince.
yes.
OK, the cast of the 1984 film, it was John Hurt played the lead
Yeah.
in that,
Yeah.
who played opposite
I'm just
him.
trying to
I've got a
think.
feeling that Peter Cushing was in it because he was in the original TV production,
Right.
and I think they did that as a little...
Yeah, a sort of vignette.
yes, as a sort of an homage to him.
Yeah. The
I read
artist...
1984...
Well, I didn't have a hit that year. I had a hit the following year. No, I didn't. But
Right,
that's my sort of time
Oh,
for
right,
hits.
OK.
But 1984, and would Prince have had a hit then?
Yeah.
Did Trevor Horn's Stable?
Yeah.
Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
I think Frankie Goes to
10
Hollywood.
seconds left.
And I'd go Prince as well.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. So have we got enough there, do you think?
OK, that is your time
Yeah.
up. I now need your 3 answers.
Yeah.
What are you going to give me?
Should we go for the?
I think
It's a long shot, the Peter Cushing.
I think
I'll
we
say
have to
that.
we have to be bold. Yeah.
I know that the Eurythmics, that's who we'll have.
Right.
Okay, so the Eurythmics.
Eurythmics?
Frankie
Goes to Hollywood.
Yeah.
And Peter
the
Cushing.
film, Peter Cushing.
Yeah.
Of those 3, which is your best shot at a pointless
Probably
answer?
Peter Cushing.
No, put Peter Cushing first because I think that's.
Oh, really? You think he's the least likely to be?
Yes.
OK, well,
I think the Eurythmics is.
OK, put
is a good
Eurythmics last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OK, Eurythmics last, Peter Cushing first, and then Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Pop them in the middle.
Yeah.
Right.
OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order then, and here they are. We have got Peter Cushing, we've got Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and we have got the Eurythmics. Now, they all look fantastic. Any one of those could turn out to be a pointless answer. If one of them did and won that jackpot of £2,500 for your charities, which charities would you be playing for?
Me first. The Fife Society for the Blind. I'm a patron of that charity in Kirkcaldy.
Lovely. And Steve?
Mine is Target Ovarian Cancer that my wife, Deborah Cornelius, has been working very closely with as a survivor of that awful disease. It's so difficult to detect it. So early checks are the key.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
Well done.
2 great charities there. 3 good answers on the board. Wouldn't it be lovely if one of these answers wins that jackpot for your charities? Your first answer was Peter Cushing. This was a bit of a shot in the dark, but you just had a feeling maybe he was in 1984. The film, having been in 1984, the series.
He was in the telly. He was in the black and white telly. He was the original Smith.
Well, listen, for £2,500, let's find out if he's right and pointless. Peter Cushing. Oh, no! OK. OK, not Peter Cushing. Let's turn our attention to your next answer. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Let us find out if that is right. We're looking for any act that had a top 5 hit in the year 1984. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Well, it's right. £2,500 is riding on this for your charities. Frankie Goes to Hollywood merely has to be pointless for that money to go. Off with you. Down we go. 3 single figures, still going down to 3. Look at that. Fantastic. OK, down to 3. We've got 103. If we can keep this trajectory up, I feel quite certain the next one is going to be a pointless answer. Eurythmics is the one you put last. Oh, please, can this be a pointless answer? It'd just be such a lovely end to the show. For £2,500, how many people named the Eurythmics as an act with a top 5 hit in 1984?
I would have thought they might do better.
It's right. That's the first thing it had to be. Your first answer, Peter Cushing, was incorrect. Then we had Frankie Goes to Hollywood, took us down to 3. Down we go to single figures with the rhythmic, still going down, still going down, still going down. Very well done indeed. Very well done indeed. Congratulations, that's brilliant. Look at that! Congratulations, Eurythmics was a pointless answer, which means you are going home with our jackpot of £2,500 for your charities. Fantastic work.
So good. Well done, Stevie. Oh. Can we come back, please?
Yes,
Of course
you
you
bet.
can. I like the way you worked out after the minute that they had a single that year with 1984 in the title, which was the clue. So very, very nicely worked out.
Yeah.
Now,
And can I play this as well, Rich?
you wanted to have a little go.
Oh, I
There's
thought
no
so.
money for you.
No, annoyingly, no. I was going to... Howard Jones.
Howard Jones was a pointless answer.
Oh,
very well
good.
done.
And then Nick Kershaw.
Pointless answer.
And then Bronski Beat.
Bronski Beat. You got yourself 3 pointless answers.
Oh.
Very well done.
How old were you then?
14. 14.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why.
Great age.
Because he was 14.
I mean, it could
You
not be-
remember.
Bronski Beat Dance.
What's the Bronski Beat dance? I didn't know there was one.
Well, you know, he is Jimmy...
He's just sort of
what's his,
Jimmy Somerville.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, you got it. Beautifully done.
Let's take a look at
Fantastic.
let's take a look at the pointless answers in the different categories. If you've been playing this one at home, 1984, you could have had Cyril Cusack, the wonderful Phyllis Logan, Roger Lloyd Pack, Susanna Hamilton, everyone pointless there apart from John Hurt and Richard Burton. Now, acts with a top 5 hit, loads of pointless answers here. You've met one of them, Paul McCartney. There he is, look. Tina Turner, there's Howard Jones, Band-Aid. You could have Bananarama, Billy Joel, Black Lace, Bob Marley. You could have Chaka Khan, Cyndi Lauper. Jim Diamond was a pointless answer. You could have had Kool and the Gang. Lamal was a pointless answer. Nana, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, Phil Fear in the Galaxy, Ray Parker Jr., Shaky, Sister Sledge, Stevie Wonder, Style Council, The Cars, The Flying Pickets, The Pointer Sisters, The Thompson Twins, The Weather Girls. All of those are pointless answers. Well done if you said any of those. Now, the players in those 2 European finals. I know some people would have been concentrating on these. Alan Hansen and Mark Lawrence, both Liverpool there. Graham Roberts, Chris Hughton, loads of other pointless answers. Alan Kennedy, you could have Craig Johnson, Danny Thomas, Falco from Roma. You could have Gary Stevens, Mark Falco, Michael Robinson was a pointless answer. Paul Miller was a pointless answer. Ronnie Whelan and Steve Nicol as well was a pointless answer. Very well done if you said any of those at home.
Thank you very much, Richard. And thank you very much, Steve and Barbara, our winning players, who take away today's jackpot of £2,500 for their charities. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Join us next time when we'll be putting more obscure knowledge to the test on pointless celebrities. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.